Leah with Leah Noell Design Co. And I am a decorative furniture painter. And today I'm just popping in here really quick because I have a tip that I think will be very useful to you. So whenever I have a good tip, I always think, gosh, I want to share it with you guys. So somebody had recommended this on my live the other day, and I tried it out and it's working great. So I'm not sure who recommended it, but thank you for recommending it. And so I tested it out, and what I've been seeing a lot in some of the groups is people are talking about their transfers coming back up after you put them on. And the one thing that I've always done, just to see, say hi as you guys come on. One thing I've always done, just because I like the way it looks, is I always sand my transfers, right? But I understand not all of you guys want a sanded or a worn look on your piece. So what somebody had recommended is that I use this finishing pad from Dixie Belle, and I did link it above. This is called a finishing pad. It is just, it's like almost like a soft, scrubby pad. It's like, I don't know, it almost feels like one of those sponges that you clean your dishes with, but it's like not as rough, but it's not as soft as the soft ones like that. So it's just kind of like, you can see the material. It's just kind of like a spongy material. Don't mind my nails. I just took my gel acrylic things off and it ruined them. But anyway, so I've been using it. And when you put your transfer on, I kind of rub it to make sure it stays on. But a lot of times there's just like a little bit of like debris, and you can't see it here, but you're gonna know what I'm talking about when you do your transfer. It's really hard to see on camera, so I'm not even gonna really worry about trying to show you guys that. But what I've been doing is I'm taking this, and then like some of your transfers a little bit folded up, and I've just been rubbing it over like this. And what it's been doing is it's kind of like removing the excess clear stuff from around the transfer that makes it look like a transfer. It's just removing that, and it's slightly distressing it, okay? So it's a finishing pad. That's what it's called. I did link it. Dixie Belle does sell them. They're $2.50 each. I'm not sure if you can actually get this at your hardware store. You may be able to. But it is just like a nice tool. And I've used this on, I used it on this one but the first time I can remember, but I used it on something else too. I can't remember what it was though. Oh, you know what I used it on? I used it on that last piece I just did that I posted Sunday. So basically it just kind of takes that little bit of excess product off, okay? And you can see it's not like rubbing it up. So if I did that, I can just leave it like this. Let me just go, hey Jessica. I can just leave it like this. The other thing I like to do is I like to, I prefer letters to look worn. This looks too fresh to me, especially since I kind of have them like, almost like falling off. And this is a Dixie Belle finishing pad, or not finishing pad, sanding pad, and it's really worn. I buy a lot of these. I buy these at Harbor Freight, and this was a fine, or I think this one was a medium grit, and these wear down really good too. But I've just been using this one. So you just need like a really fine grit sandpaper that you've actually used before, and it's kind of worn down. The only thing I struggle with like these and this is I try to use the same one when I'm doing it on like transfers, because my last piece had a lot of yellow in it, and I don't want to take my sanding block that has yellow paint on it and rub it on my blue dresser, because I might rub some of that yellow off. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this one because it's very like weak. You can also just buy 1,000 grit sandpaper, I guess, but that stuff's, I feel like the lower grit sandpaper, it gets expensive. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go over this. And I mean, this sandpaper is so worn, but I just want to wear my lettering into the paint. And you can see a lot of the transfer comes off on my pad. This is called a finishing pad. That's what this is. This is just sandpaper. This is the one from Dixie Belle, and I've just kind of worn it in, and I've kind of just assigned this as my, like, this is my sandpaper for transfers. But fine grit sandpaper, just real fine grit, 220. 220 but worn down is kind of what you want to use. Like 220 that's been used a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of go over this and make it look worn in. And I am going to seal my piece. I think I've decided I'm going to seal it with wax. So there we go. That's it. So I just went over it. I just wanted to show you guys that. If you just kind of rub it like this with the finishing pad, it's going to take off all of that excess transfer that you like, that makes it look like a transfer. And I found that it works really good around these little letterings, because these little letterings, believe it or not, are harder because they're, you know, they're kind of tedious. And so like, once you get them down, they still sometimes want to look raised, and then you rub them down and then you can still see like the little outline of the plastic. So this just helps to kind of rub that off and make it smooth. So that's my tip for you guys today. And if you guys caught this on the replay, just go ahead and hit replay, and then I will know you guys saw it. So hey, Sharon from Canada. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna finish this dresser up, and I'm going to hopefully stage it. I'll get that for you. My husband got a handful of hives, and he's trying to walk out the door and close it behind him. So that's what that was. Hey, Erin, how are you today? I hope the weather's good by you. It's rainy here. Hey, Cheryl. So if you guys, the tip is back, you know, in the video. So if you guys want to check it out, it was just a tip on how to use the finishing pad to make your transfers look more real. So, okay, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.